Hey everyone, I'm your host Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show, and today I have a power family coming to the show. These two, I found them and I had to beg them to be on the show because they are that fantastic. Oh my gosh, you won't want to miss 1 second. These two are spilling the tea, not all the tea, some of the tea, because you got to check them out for yourself, but you won't want to miss 1 second of what they have to say. Here we go. Hey everyone, I'm your host Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show, and today I have the incredible Miss Tiffany Powell and Anthony Powell with Ambulance Academy. They are the coolest siblings you'll ever meet, and I've fallen absolutely in love with them ever since day one. I follow them on social media, all social media, because they are helping us do better and start our own ambulance service business, where they help people start and run profitable private ambulance services through consulting and software. These two are the truth. Miss Tiffany has a bachelor's degree from Florida Atlantic University, and has been in the private ambulance industry since 2013. Killing the game. She took the leap of faith in 2016 when she started her very own private ambulance service. And her brother has a bachelor's degree from Miles College and a master's degree in information technology. Kudos to you, because I'm in this industry, I'm studying, I'm learning. It is no joke. These two are the brains and power behind Ambulance Academy. And so I can't hold these two back any longer. Help me welcome to the stage the incredible Anthony and Tiffany Powell.
Man, that was great, man. I couldn't have written a better.
Welcome to the show. I love y'all. Welcome. How are you?
You're great. How are you? Man.
This is dope. You guys look incredible. The matching t-shirts. We all black. And that was not planned, y'all. We did not plan this. They just look really, really good. And I thank you guys for making time for being here today. This is fantastic. You guys are really changing the game. You are in a specific industry, right? You're not in multi-level marketing. This ain't no scam. You guys are the real deal. And so how did you guys find the ambulance service niche? How did you guys get into this industry and discover that there was a need within your own community? Help us, please.
Well, it's a funny story. I'll start with myself, and then Anthony can tell his story too. But my story is I was in a job that I was unfulfilled in, and so I quit that job, and I had some time to kind of spend, I guess, time to kind of explore things that I really wanted to spend my time in my career doing. And so long story short, I had a friend that was opening their own ambulance service. And I think they had already opened and they needed help. And so she's like, my friend, she can do anything. She, she's a like systems person. She's an office person. She can help you guys. So I think they were going through an audit. I helped them through the audit. They were firefighters, so they knew the patient care side of things, but they really needed a lot of help, like getting the office in order and all that kind of stuff. And so from there, once I got them through the audit, I was able to kind of win their trust. And after a while, I was running their business for them, hiring, firing, marketing, just all the things behind the scenes. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I still love it. So that's kind of how I fell into it. And
man, for me, she started this business when I was in college. So, I was definitely cheering on and everything like that, but I didn't know much about it. And even after I graduated, I didn't know much about what she was doing outside of the struggles, because when she started at first, she was struggling. So she called me, brother, I'm stressed right now. I'm on the side of the road and my ambulance is broken down. I'll call you back. So I remember a lot of moments like that, but outside of that, but fast forward a few years, like you look up and, you know, we don't really talk about money and everything like that, but you look up and my sister's like, we're taking the whole family on vacation and spending thousands of dollars on a mansion for us to all be in and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, sis. You know, how much are you really making?
Right.
How much are you really making? So fast forward to 2020, COVID hit, you know, and it was like, you know, employee shortages and stuff like that. So in the state of Georgia, they allowed for certain people, it was like a state of emergency for the ambulance space. So they allowed, you know, certain people to kind of take a certification. It was a driver's certification. And that allowed us to kind of get on the trucks and start driving for her. She actually needed the help. So myself and her husband took the course just to help her out.
It was a one-day course.
It was
right?
like a one-day course. A one-day course. Who was able to actually drive the ambulance in this state of emergency period, which is not the case anymore. But so like the second day, I was like, Tiff, like we should just start another one. Like, what do you want to do? It was a joke, but you know, we actually pursued it, and that's how I got into the space.
Yep. So that's the story.
I'm sticking to it.
I get the vibes, right? So I got chills right now, y'all. I got chills right now because you guys are legacy building. You guys are doing something that you were smart enough, brother. Even though you said it, you said it was like, man, you're working in corporate America. You guys had the wisdom to transition and do it yourselves because you knew. I think you guys knew you could do it better. And so you did. And then when you combined, that's when, and brother, you were smart. You saw your sister traveling and doing these things. You were like, hold up, what's going on over here? Let me see what's really happening on this side of the water. Yep. And so, but you touch on a very particular thing. You had some skills. You had skills that you both brought to the table, right. And you offered those skills to others to help them get started in this industry. What skills should someone have when getting into this business? What should they work on prior to? Because you talk about this on your Instagram page. They drop nuggets on the Instagram page, y'all. If y'all ain't checking them out, you need to check them out. But yes. What skills should someone have before getting started and before contacting you?
Well, I would definitely say mindset. Yeah. That's something that can be developed, but definitely a mindset of getting it done and not giving up until you get a yes. Like the mindset of finding a solution, not focusing on the problem. Yeah. So mindset is number one, I would think. Yeah, sure. Two, I would say definitely to make sure you have your credit in order, you have capital. It varies by state, but at least 50,000 or more to get started. What would you say? I'm missing.
And I think another thing would probably be this. You said the skill set. You said the skill set before reaching out to us, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, just like you said, you know, resiliency, like she mentioned, and yeah, definitely having the mindset of, hey, this is like an actual business. This isn't. I know today on social media, you know, everyone talks about, hey, let's start a business today and tomorrow you'll be a millionaire or whatever the case may be, or start traveling tomorrow. Like no, the ambulance company it's a complex business to start and it's a complex business to run. So you just have to have kind of a higher level perception on the space before getting into it, because it's going to take a process to start. Yeah. And then once you start up, even though we're going to be able to help you and give you all the systems and all of the games, it's going to be a lot easier. It's just a long process. So those are kind of the mindset and skill sets that you have before.
And then I would say everything else can be taught. Yeah. Everything else can be learned, but I think, you know, just having a great attitude and having patience, I would say, is a major thing. Yeah. Making sure you have the patience to endure even the startup process. But then once you get started, it doesn't just, you know, overnight. Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. Mm-hmm. So just having the patience and the grit, I would say, to see yourself through to the next step.
I love that. And you guys, I would say one more thing. Have an open mind, because too many people will try and come in to what you guys have already mastered and try and think they know it all, right? So keep an open mind and follow instruction. Follow their instruction, right? They're giving you step-by-step processes and they're walking you through so you don't hit the road bumps like earlier mentioned, right? Being broken down on the side of the road. With just your ambulance truck, and it's like, well, if the emergency truck can't get to me, I'm messed up. So that's cool. That is super, super dope. What are some things I should focus on first? So credit, I got credit from what you said, the foundations, the mindset. But what tangible items should I expect to? Because you teach something that was unique. You talk about instead. I think Marcus, I think I need to purchase a truck first. But you guys teach us something different. So help us. What would I need to focus on first?
So,
I mean, there's so many ways you can take this. So like if you have the credit, and obviously we said it's about 40 to 60K to get started. You obviously want to have access to that capital. You want to have a community as well. Like you want in this space, like I said, it's complex. So you want to make sure you have like another ambulance company that's local that you can kind of turn to for resources and tools and things of that nature. You want to have that. But as far as like, after you have those things in place, something tangible, basically identifying where you want to open up and start at. I mean, that's a big thing for a lot of businesses in the ambulance space. You want to be able to kind of gauge your market and see where you want to start at. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say definitely a very quick thing that people can begin to do is kind of, like you say, engage your market. You can go out to dialysis centers and just people watch, or in this case, ambulance watch. And you can kind of see how the people present themselves in that area. Are they showing up in unprofessional uniforms, or are they in a uniform at all? What their trucks look like? And that alone is just a great option to say, hey, okay, I see them failing in this area. They look sloppy. That usually means they're probably late. It can mean that they're treating their patients maybe not so well either. So those are areas that you can probably slot in and get some quick patients, if that makes sense. Another thing would be to I would say determine, like, if you want to go ahead and begin to purchase your supplies. So a lot of people would think that, hey, I need to go buy this ambulance right now. But you wouldn't want to buy the ambulance, start paying a note on it, having to pay the insurance on it, because once you get it, you have to get it insured. So you're basically
sitting on those notes. You're adding costs to
your bottom line for your startup. So we say to do all the legwork. First, you have to get a medical director. You have to get a pharmacy on staff with you. There are a lot of things that you need to do first before you go out and get that ambulance. So we would say to, figure out what that looks like in your state first. That can be found on usually the Department of EMS and Trauma site on the state site that you reside in or that you want to open up in. So I would say to find out what those things are first and start with the small things. And then once you have all those things in place and like physically in your possession, then you go out and get your truck, because that's one of the last things you would really need to do. So
much.
So much.
There's so much.
And that's what the beauty of what you guys do is so important. You have Ambulance Academy, and we're going to touch on that after this quick commercial break. You guys stay tuned, stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a reliable professional trucking and logistics service, you've come to the right place. Musa Trucking is a veteran-owned and operated premier transportation provider that can help with all of your trucking and logistics needs. Musa is revolutionizing the trucking industry through strategic partnerships, the development of core personnel, and the use of cutting-edge technology. Our inventory system ensures that cargo ends up divided into the right trucks and reaching the correct destination. Our drivers are dedicated to transporting goods efficiently and safely. Contact us today to get started by visiting the website on the screen or by calling 757-756-5246.
We are back, and we have the incredible, amazing Miss Tiffany and Anthony Powell, siblings, running this awesome business, and they're spilling the tea here on the Gentleman Style Podcast show about Ambulance Academy and how you can start your own ambulance business. Woo! Love it. So tell us, you touched on this, what are the initial things people should expect? And that's I love that tip that you shared earlier. If you guys missed that, go back, scroll back, and check them out. But you guys are talking about, instead of focusing on a truck, now you got a car note or a vehicle note or a business note, and you may not be up and running yet. So you need to get your supplies, you need to get your team together. What else can people expect when signing up for Ambulance Academy? What should they expect when they're going to get out of it?
Well, I'll start first.
Yeah.
I think a major thing is, I'll just back up and say, when I first got started in the space, I Googled, I called, I reached out. Nobody was helping. There's no real information online, even now, 10 years later, that is valuable to anybody that's starting their own ambulance service. And so I think, and also with other ambulance service owners, I don't know if they feel a threat in their area when, you know, someone else is calling and just needing some help. And so people are just not really willing to share much information at all. And so I think the major thing that they would be getting is community and people that have been through these things. It's not just us. We have, you know, other people in our network that we are helping, who are helping us, that are, you know, wanting to share as much knowledge as they can as well. So I think the network of people that they'll be able to plug into and ask all the questions to, have 24/7 access to, I think that is a major gem. And then just not only the resources that they will be able to connect them to, but also just the confidence. I think when I first got started, I felt so inadequate, even though I had been in the space prior to. I was working in the space as like an administrator, but I've never been an EMT. I hadn't up until that point, up until opening my own. And so I think I just felt that, you know, I didn't belong. I didn't know what I was doing. I felt defeated most days in the beginning. And so just having that person in your ear, like just being your cheerleader, letting you know that it'll get better. Hey, we all went through it. You know, hopefully you can skip some of the things, the negative things that we went through. You know, so just having that network and, you know, people behind you that are rooting for you, cheering you on, and sharing pertinent resources. Yeah,
that clarity, like she said, is huge. You know, because if you go to your state's website right now to look up the requirements for starting an ambulance service, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's like, for some, I think we were looking at the state of, I believe it was Texas or Mississippi or something the other day, trying to help a student. And it was just like, kept scrolling. You keep scrolling.
Yeah,
so
it can be overwhelming.
It can be very daunting, very overwhelming. So you get that clarity with us. You get that sense of direction with us. And, you know, even though it's a lot, you know, we've been through it, you know, so we're able to help you with that. And just simple things like, you know, how to get an insurance agent, or how to get proper insurance for not only your truck, but also your business if you drop a patient or whatever. So you can't Google State Farm, hey, or you can't call Jake State Farm, can I get insurance for my truck? You can't do that. So you have to have a broker, and, you know, we give you access to that. We give you access to where we buy our actual trucks from. We get access. We give you access to, you know, where we get our, you know, financing for our trucks, and just so on and so forth. So you're kind of getting like the business on a platter to you. So
ambulance service in the box.
And ambulance service in a box. So, and not only that, like, you're getting the systems that, you know, my sister and, you know, myself have created to help you run that business efficiently. So that's even more important to help you get it started. A lot of people can kind of manage their way to getting it started, but after they get it started, it's like, okay, now I have to deal with these patients, I have to deal with hiring people, I have to deal with managing patient documentation, calling facilities to get contracts. So it's just so many other things. So a lot of people, if they're not running the business the correct way, they go out of business very quickly in the ambulance space. But if you have those resources in place, those tools in place, you could be, you know, like my sister, you know, super successful, helping her husband and her brother get on, and like we both run our ambulance business from home now, if anything, if that, you know. So you're getting a lot.
What I see with you two is, number one, goals. I see goals, but I also see you guys give, right? You guys give a lot. And just like what you said, you experienced a lot of negativity, no support, no one you could call on, which there is power in mentorship, y'all.
For sure.
There's a lot of power with these two when it comes to step by step. I forget the statistic, the number, but it saves millions. Most people will be like, well, I can't get with them because I can't afford them. you need to flip that mindset and say, how much are they saving you? How much potential losses are you skipping because they're helping you along that way? Having a mentor pays for itself. And that's what Ambulance Academy is. And that's what these two are doing. So I need whoever's listening, when you get, you guys really need to change that mindset and connect with a powerful team like this, because you're not going to get that. Just like they said, you can go to any industry, right? You go to any industry and you're not going to get the help that you need. Mentors want 50,000, 800,000, right, just to learn, right? Can I take you for some coffee? Whatever the case may be. So that's what I hear. Round of applause for these two again, y'all. I got a bonus round. Hear that? Gotta get the sirens in there because this is Ambulance Academy. Bonus round is, let's get to the money. What kind of money can people expect from this $50,000 to $85,000 to $100,000 investment? What's the different ways? Are you guys dealing with insurance providers, the government, or individuals? Because I have a heart. I'm not saying you guys don't, because you guys have a very ethical and moral compass, and you lead with that, and it shows in all your work. But I feel bad. I would feel horrible picking up someone, and we're in a recession, we're in a pandemic, money is tight, stimulus isn't flowing. How do you make money in this industry?
So I'm glad you asked, Marcus. I'm glad you asked. So our number one payer is the government via Medicare. Also Medicaid, we get paid through, so Medicare is federal, Medicaid is state usually. So those are our number one payers. So although our customers are our patients, the paying party is usually their insurance companies. And so if not Medicare, Medicaid, then we also are paid directly from Blue Cross Blue Shield, Humana, Aetna, you name it. And so that is the beauty of this. It is truly recession proof because we know, and our model is dialysis. So we know that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Mr. Norman will go dialysis at a set time. And, he's going to go from home to dialysis, and then he's going to come back from dialysis to home. So we get to build the insurance per each way, basically. And so that's the beauty in it. Like, the sky's the limit. So, someone could be like, hey, I just want to have a small service. I thought I wanted a small service when I first got started, because there is a lot that goes into it. But I'm like, hey, I want to buy a new house. So that means I need to add more trucks and, therefore add more patients so they can bill more to the government, essentially. And so really, truly, like, you can make as much as you want. Really and truly. It's just, it really depends on scale, like systems. Once you have your foundational systems in place, you can scale it as highly and as much as you like to. So
absolutely. And just to kind of go a little deeper, to provide the audience like an exact number that you can make, that's, I don't know, that's good insight. That's what matters. But as far as exact numbers, like, we like to allocate 8 trips per truck per day. So you can have multiple trucks running per day, but per day, if you have one truck, prorated over a month, it should be somewhere around $32,000 to $38,000 you can make revenue on that one truck running 6 days a week. I don't want to break down the entire math. I'm not a human calculator, so I can't. But we do have.
You good?
We do have we did a video on Instagram, and it's like, if you go to our Instagram page, Ambulance Academy, we break it all down for you. So we do it per trip, per day, per week, per month. So you get the actual numbers. But it comes out to around $38,000 a day. Obviously, you just have to pay your employees.
A month.
A month. Oh Lord, no way.
Per truck.
If it was $38,000 a month, I would be on the island with
a day.
Elon Musk. I mean, a day. But no, it's $38,000 a month, and obviously you still have to pay your employees. You still have to pay your insurance. You still have to pay gas, also overhead gas. I mean, truck note. But obviously, if you have like 5 trucks, if you have 2 trucks, 3 trucks, you can easily get to 6 figures a month. Running an ambulance service, quite easily. So it just depends. Like my sister said, if you have a good foundation, if you understand your business model, that's another thing that I've noticed about a lot of people trying to get into the space, they don't really understand the business model, so they're trying to do events here, they're trying to do contracts here, they're trying to do wheelchair van here, they're trying to do everything. It's like you have to have a foundation first, build on that, get some predictable income, and then you can kind of venture out and figure out where else you want to kind of expand and offer your service, because there's a lot of ways to offer service and make money if you have an ambulance company. But long story short, if you have that foundation, if you're building on top of the dialysis model, you can easily scale to 6 figures a month if you have 3 or 4 trucks on it.
Yep.
Love it. And so I stalked these two, y'all. So I already brought up on the screen their Instagram page where he breaks down the dollar for dollar breakdown. So 8 transports / a day, base rate of $175 per transport. And you can see all of this on the screen. Again, they are very, very giving. You're not going to get this anywhere else. Unless you sign up for Ambulance Academy or check them out on their Facebook, their Instagram page. But I stalked them. So I want to bring you guys, my audience, the real deal. And these two are the real deal. So here are the numbers on the screen for you guys to see. And so that's super, super powerful.
Thanks. I appreciate that, Marcus.
Absolutely. That's how we roll on the Gentleman Style Podcast show. I wanted to, can this business be run passively? Or how involved? I imagine, and with any business, you got to be involved because you got to get the know-how. And Mr. Anthony, brother, you have a very powerful story about a friend that did the same thing but didn't know his business, and unfortunately had an unfortunate end. But can this business be run passively? I want to kind of stay there, or do I have to? I have to be there? I have to have certain certifications or licenses, or do I not need those things?
I mean, that's a loaded question.
Sorry. Apologize.
So, to answer your question, yes, it can be I don't want to use the word passive. Passive, I think of like
real estate is passive for me.
Yeah.
I know today everybody thinks in social media, they think that everything can be run passively. That's everyone's dream, but that's not the case, especially in this business. But you go ahead.
You need to definitely, if you're not present, you need to have someone that is basically you. That can be present, in my opinion.
That's following systems that you've created.
Right.
And that Right. Because if that person is extracted from the business, you're going to be like the guy that you're alluding to on my Instagram that is like, okay, that person who was just my manager quit. I don't know how to run my business. Right. And you got to shut your business down. And that's what happened.
Right.
But
so in terms of, for us, I can speak from my personal point of view. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, I required for myself to get my own EMT license, state of Georgia EMT license. I went to school. I wanted to do that for myself because I wanted to really understand and know the ins and outs of like the clinical side of things. I understood how to run the business, but I didn't really understand like the clinical side. And so I'm like, if I'm going to be having my own employees and training them, mm-hmm. I want to make sure I'm not relying on, another person's expertise that might not be, expertise at all. I don't want to rely on somebody else to, explain how to do things in my business. So my personal philosophy, I know how to do everything in my business. So that way, no one feels that I need them too much. And I don't mean to say like that, but just nowadays, people are different. Employees are different. They want to hold things over your head. So in my opinion, I'm like, if there's any kind of thing that may arise and they leave, I can still step in and run my business if need be. And so, so I became an EMT. I became everything that my business needed it to be at the time it needed it to happen. And then after I think I've got 5 consistent patients, I was able to get off the truck. And I haven't really been consistently on the truck since, and that was back in 2018. I think that, so I'm usually at home. I don't ever really come to the office. My employees hear my voice. They usually don't see me.
If Tiffany goes to the office, it's a bad day.
Yeah. So
it's not good to see you.
Yeah. So it can be done.
But then again, she's been in this space for 10 years.
A
You know,
long
so
time.
these years she's built these systems on how to manage patient documents, how to manage employee availability, how to manage the actual trucks, so the crews or the shifts, and like this stuff is not something that someone could come in and do, you know, in a year, 2 years, 3 years. It takes. So fortunately for me and her husband, when we got in, we had access to
all my systems,
all of her systems, and it made everything for us a lot easier. So yeah, to answer your question and to finish what you were saying, Tiffany, yeah, if it can be done semi-passively, like, you know, Tiffany explained, like at home, we both work from home, we both work on other businesses that we have, and you know, it can be done, but it only can be done if you have access to the appropriate processes and systems and resources to make that happen. So if you come with Ambulance Academy, or if you follow us on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, you know, we talk about all these things. But if not, you know, you can definitely still on your own, you know, over time build out a system that works for you.
Like, So I would say, like, I do make money in my sleep. I don't know if we would call that passive, but I do make money while I'm on vacation. I do make money, you know, just while I'm not present at the business. And I think that was my goal. Like, I wanted to find a way where I could be able to generate income. I'm a mom of young children. I'm a wife. I want to be very present with them. And so that has been my goal. And this company or this type of business model has provided that type of lifestyle for me.
So for the record, this is what I was gunning for. So even though it can be run semi-passively, you don't do anything else unless you want to do something else. That's what I was going for. This is your full-time thing. This is your business, your company, and it's providing a stable income for you.
For sure.
Yeah. That's the T that I didn't want people to miss. And no, you're great. You gave, again, they're giving, y'all. They this is good. But this is what I wanted. This is a business that is not a side hustle. This is a gig economy, and everybody's like looking for the next side hustle. This is not a side hustle, y'all. This is something that you have to commit to. And if you follow their steps, you follow their processes, and again, keep that open mind to what they're teaching you, this can be it for you. You don't have to do something else. And that's what I wanted. So kudos, shout out. Round of applause again. OMG. This is the T I was looking for. What do you do with your team? How has the pandemic treated your ambulance business? Has it slowed down? Has it increased? What do you do when you don't have as many calls? Do you work on training the team? What do you do then?
The pandemic helped the business. Like, I think we doubled, honestly, during that time. And it's because people unfortunately got sicker.
Yeah.
And it also doubled because a lot of businesses went out of business based on various reasons. And so we're in the Metro Atlanta area. People that are needing dialysis transport, that's increasing so much. From the time that I started my own business to now, I would say, like, I would market, and it would take, you know, it would just take a while for me to get callbacks. And now I would say we probably get calls 4-5 times a week, depending on, you know, from several different facilities of people, or, you know, that need ambulance transport. And so the great thing again about the dialysis model is your staff isn't usually sitting around unless you're just not doing any marketing or customer relations work. You know, we want to make sure we are always at the top of our decision makers' mind, whether it be social workers, nurses, whomever. So that means, like, we're showing our face, or we have someone that is, you know, like one of our managers, they're showing their face. We are, you know, just always following up, making sure everybody's happy, etc. So if there's a time where our employees are sitting, it's probably because we are not doing our part as, you know, owners and going out and getting to work, because the work is definitely, and the demand is definitely there for sure. So
I love that.
I don't know if that's a question or not, but
it did. Who calls you guys? Is it the hospitals? Do you have relationships? Do you have to have relationships with the 911 service in your local community? Who calls you guys to request work?
Yeah, well, for us, because we focus on dialysis, most of the time it's the social worker or the administrator or the manager at a dialysis facility or dialysis clinic, offering us, not offering us, but, asking us if we have space for a patient that needs to be brought to their treatment at a certain time on a certain day.
Right.
In other instances, it can be like a case manager from like a hospital or, a social worker or a case manager from a nursing home who has a patient who's at that facility who now needs to be taken to dialysis at a specific time, or it could be other things, not necessarily dialysis. It could be other appointments and stuff like that.
Wound care. We have relationships and contracts with hospitals. These are, it could be a small hospital or it could be a large hospital, but think about it from, and this is not the dialysis model that I'm talking about now, but just from a hospital standpoint, if they have people that are needing to get out of the hospital, but there's a delay in transporting them, that means they can't admit any new people to the hospital. Yep. So their goal is to really expedite moving patients out of the hospital. So they really rely on a lot of times major ambulance services, but oftentimes those major ambulance services cannot fill the need quick enough. Yep. And so then they begin to call smaller services like myself, or maybe we would have a direct relationship with the major ambulance service where they, as a subcontractor, where they call us directly and say, hey, we have 6 patients today that need to be discharged from various hospitals around town. Can you guys help us? And so that it's just about relationship building.
For sure. A lot of.
Oh,
no, relationships. Like that's what I like in this space. And I kind of said this in another video we did a long time ago too. Like, my background is in software. And in software, it's doing all that cold calling. You have to, cold call. Hey, I have this software. Can you buy it? Like, can it help your business save time and money? And it's like, I don't need that. I use something else. Hang up, right? But in this space, everyone is kind of working together to like, help the patient or get the patient in a better situation. So it's like, if Grady calls, I have a patient, she needs help getting to dialysis, or a facility calls, hey, she has an appointment, can you guys help? It's like, yeah, we can help. So it's all like, even when you introduce yourself, you walk into a facility, they don't know you. Like, you introduce yourself, correctly, professionally, they'll be open to building a relationship with you. And once you build that relationship with the facility or a social worker or individual, like I've had people who are at one facility literally quit that job, going to an entirely different company on another side of town, and she still gives me a call because we have that relationship. So it's definitely a relationship-based business, and it can go.
And to piggyback off that, since we have a network here in Atlanta of other ambulance owners that we work with, when we can't do it, we refer the business to one of our friends in business. So at the end of the day, the person that's calling with the need, they know if they call Tiffany or Anthony, we're gonna fulfill the need for them, even if it isn't through our personal ambulance services. So it's just really about relationships, having a network, and not only that, making sure that when you say you're gonna do something, you do it. Yeah. So you don't want to say, oh yeah, we can transport Miss such and such at this time, and then we are like 3 hours late. They're not gonna want to call us again. So it's just about making sure when we do get a call that we are honoring our word and, having integrity, etc. So
that was good.
Big heart. Boom. Big heart. Drop the mic. Y'all can drop the mic on that one. OMG. You guys have been incredible this entire episode. I am floored, and I thank you guys. This is huge and epic. What would you say? This is our bonus slam round. What would you guys say to that young boy, that young girl out in the audience that wants to get into a business, any business, but they're fearful, right? Fear can sometimes stifle us. What would you say if they're watching this episode right now? What would you say to that young boy, that young girl right now to encourage them to take action?
I have a quick thing that I was gonna say, scared money don't make no money, but that's bad advice. But it's real. I would say to definitely do your due diligence.
That's good.
I think that especially a business that requires a large upfront. How do I say it? Upfront cost. Sorry.
Yeah, you good?
A large startup. I think that it is really, really important to make sure you're doing your due diligence, whether that be through mentorship, making sure you're vetting the people, because it's really hard, especially like on social media. That's the thing I hate about social media. I'm like, you really don't know. I mean, they could be like excellent marketing people and have like all these nice infographics and look the part. They can sound like they know what they're talking about, but you can't. What do you check?
Exactly.
How can you like fact check? You can't. Yeah. And so I've unfortunately spent money on some courses that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I could have looked this up on Google, or like they didn't really go deep and share any real information that was helpful. And so thankfully, I didn't like spend $50,000 starting up or anything like that. But I think the major thing is just, fact checking the people
you're getting
information from. Doing some legwork of your own, maybe like I said, going and like sitting and people watching, ambulance service watching, seeing if this is something that you could see yourself doing. And then definitely praying. Like I'm very big, I'm Christian. I believe that, God definitely directs our path. And if we pray, I think that he will give us a yes or give us a no or give us a wait. And so that's my gish on it.
That was good.
Brother?
I had a couple of seconds to think. So that's why I let you go. I kind of like looked off to the side when you asked the question, Marcus. But for me, that was definitely tactical. For me, mine would be kind of just like some mythical thing. Like, I think everyone has a gift. Like, even as a kid, like regardless of where you are in your life, what hand life is kind of giving you, you have like something that's special. Like, yeah. And just like try to figure out what that is and like lean into it and utilize it. Like it's a superpower. Like my sister, she is so gifted at like being a tactician. Like she can come into a space or a business or whatever it is, like break down the exact proper way something is supposed to be done, create like a blueprint for that to be done, and train somebody off the street on how to do it. And they're going to be able to replicate that day in and day out. Like that's a gift. That's something that I literally cannot do. Like I just don't have the makeup to do that. And like, for me, I have certain things, and I know, Marcus, you have certain things. Like obviously you're doing this podcast. I don't know what your gift is, but I'm sure it's definitely been reflected in, how you built this platform. Yeah. So just like whatever that kid is, whoever that individual is, like use your gift, like don't downplay it. Like, use that as your superpower and lead with that, and you'll go far.
Yeah, for sure. Surround yourself with people in a higher space, higher mindset.
And it's exactly like my gift is like we're building this software. Like I don't have a software background, but I'm resourceful like enough to like get people to help me with that. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story for another day. I'm not gonna go down that path, Marcus. I know we've been long, but yeah, you can get people to kind of fill in the rest. But whatever your gift is, put that at the top, and like you can get people to fill in the rest, man, for sure. Yeah, happy.
These two are a powerhouse. I told y'all. They are the truth. I love them. You love them too. How can we connect with you? How can we grow with you? And the train has left the station, but it's not too late to get on board to Ambulance Academy. So how can people find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, Ambulance Academy. So that's at Ambulance Academy on Instagram. On YouTube, it's also at Ambulance Academy. That's the best way. Obviously, you can connect with us on our website. We actually have a free how to start your own ambulance company guide. Yes. That's something that we have. So you can access that at ambulanceacademyonline.com. As soon as you type that in, you can just put an email address and like we literally send you over the guide. But the best way is to like just keep up with us is on Instagram and on YouTube. Like we give away so much information on this industry, information that she didn't have when she started. So if someone is actually interested in the space, but they need more information, like, hey, YouTube is a gold mine for us.
Yes, and we do offer a coaching / mentorship program that we're launching in January. Yep. So if you guys are interested in that, you can send us a direct message via Instagram or via, I think you can drop a comment on our YouTube, and we will be able to connect with you guys there as well.
There you go. There you have it, y'all. Stalk them like I did.
Yes.
Check them out. They are super, super powerful. I thank you all. I want to say this to you guys. You guys continue to do what you're doing. You guys are incredible. Don't ever quit, because we need you. We need what you guys are doing. We need what you guys are giving back. And that is powerful. And that is the marking of, you can't go broke giving. And so thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you so much for
having
us.
Yeah.
This has been great. Yeah. This has been amazing.
Absolutely. You all are amazing. I love you guys. I want to thank you all, my audience, for tuning in to the Gentleman Style Podcast Show. I hope this message was powerful. I hope it inspires you to get started today. It's not too late. You don't have to wait till New Year's to make your New Year's resolution. Make your New Year's resolution today and get started and start your own ambulance business with your great, great mentors that I found for you. You can find us on iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you get your platform today. I want to end this show like I always end every show. Take care of your friends, take care of your family, and always, always take care of business. Marcus Norman of Gentleman Style Podcast Show signing off, and the incredible, amazing Tiffany and Anthony Powell of Ambulance Academy signing off. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.